All right, we are live. We are live. It is Monday, and I am Lisa Crisali. I am your host, and this is Getting Down to Business. By the way, this is our brand new time by majority consensus. So I'm going to give it a moment while you guys start to come on board here. You guys asked for this new time so you could be here, so I am here for you. So while you are coming on board, first of all, I am going to, let me refresh over here, make sure this is streaming, because we are having like the craziest weather here. It is ridiculous. It is really crazy. So you may or may not know, obviously, we live in Vegas. We have had the hottest summer on record, as well as the driest summer on record, have not had a drop of rain in over 150 days. And as of this morning, there was no rain forecast at all for weeks. And yet today, this afternoon, we had a major downpour out of nowhere, like major downpour. It was pouring, like totally unexpected, was not on the weather. So hello there. Let's see, who do we have joining us? Hi. So we have hi there. So if you go ahead and right above me up here is a link that says, what does it say? StreamYard.com/Facebook. If you click on that link, you can comment and interact, and I'm going to know who you are, and we can pull you up onto the screen. So first of all, welcome here. I am so glad you guys are able to join me. New bat time. Okay, so I want to dive in and get going because obviously you are here. First of all, let me know in the comments if you're catching the replay. Go ahead and type in #replay just so we know if you're here live. You can put in live. But I'm going to mix things up today a little bit with the video or with this training, because this whole month, the whole month of September, has been talking about dealing with stress. Right? We all have a lot going on right now. There is some crazy stuff going on. Like, it is the craziest year ever, right? And this puts extra stresses, and we're all business owners. And as business owners, we already have enough stress. We've been talking a lot about stress and then how bad it is for your health. We've also been talking about things that you can do to address it. This is really key. It's very, very critical as business owners that we have a method and processes for being able to deal with this. Okay. Because guess what, you guys, it isn't going to be letting up anytime soon. In fact, my guess is the next couple of months are going to probably be, even more so than normal, right? Even more so than normal. But let's talk about this today. Let me get over here to my banners. Today, we are going to talk about why good stress is important. So can you give me like a thumbs up, say hello, give me like, yes, good stress actually is important. And so let me explain to you why that is. It means, right, dealing with good stress, right, it means that you are growing. It means that you are changing as a person. It also means that you are stepping outside your comfort zone, right? We all have the ability to address this stuff, right? And the better we get at handling and addressing it. But I'm going to talk about what good stress is, okay? Oh, hey, Michelle. Oh, you're on your phone and you don't see the StreamYard. Okay, no. Oh, well, good to see you here. Yay. Although I can't put your face up there. All right. Well, thanks for sharing. Let me go back over here. So we're talking about good stress is important. Now, as I mentioned, it means that you're growing. It means that you're changing. It means that you're learning how to adapt. And not saying that you should adapt to bad stress. I want to talk about the difference here, right? We all know that a lot of good stuff happens when you step outside of your comfort zone, right? That's part of that growing. But I want to tie together for you how that is, how that component of doing the things that you once thought were more difficult, right? And stepping through and doing them and addressing them, right? How that good stress is actually helping you to grow, right? Is actually helping you to grow as a person. So you guys are ready to join me for a little positive stress talk. So give me a yes. Give me a yes in the comments there. I'm trying to look at the thing here. There we go. Give me a yes in the comments below, okay? Because you know me, I like to always say that the glass is half full. I'm just that kind of person, right? That's just the way we roll. So before I go much further, obviously, for those of you who are just joining in, I know we're at a new time, so maybe you're catching the replay here. Again, my name is Lisza Crisali. I am your host. My husband and I are the founders of of Exercise and Nutrition Works, which is our company. We are the founders and creators of the original CEU accredited nutrition certification program, of the original nutrition software called What Works nutrition software. And we are the co-founders of the Nutrition Business Profit System. So we work with health and wellness professionals in creating even more profitable businesses. So you are watching, for those of you who are watching me live, go ahead and pop in there. Hold on one quick second. I see, oh, okay, cool. We got a yes. Awesome. We got a yes. I'm just going back and forth between 5 different screens here. And again, be sure to let me know if you catch me on the replay, because when you put in hashtag replay, I'll be able to come in here and answer any questions that you have. So let's go ahead and jump in. So I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about in regards to the difference between good stress and bad stress. So many of you can relate to this. I don't care if you're male or female, but one of the biggest stresses that you can ever have in your life is bringing home a new baby, right? Whether you're the father or the mother, doesn't matter. Bringing home a new baby from the hospital, it's scary, it's life-changing, and it's also beyond amazing, okay? Now, again, that gives you an example. That's great stress, but it's scary, right? Especially for those that are first-time parents, right? You're like, oh my God, like what am I doing here, right? You're asking those questions. So stress is something that we all experience every single day, more so now than normal, right? And obviously there's a lot of bad stress going on, right? There's also bad stress with things like trauma, loss, struggles that we have going on, political environments happening, COVID, all of that. Those are the bad stresses. But again, I want you to get really clear, and I want to totally acknowledge the bad stress. But in the interest of fairness, I also want to talk to you about the good stresses in our lives, okay? Because there's a lot of that too, okay? There's a lot of good stresses. So, okay, can you guys think, or everyone on here, can you think of a time that you were in a lot of stress, but it was a really positive process that you were going through, right? It was a really positive process. So again, let's go back to like when you were a baby learning how to walk, right? Like that's stress, but it's like as you stood up and started making the steps, or as a baby does that, right? They see the results of trying it and doing it, right? As you continue to get older, you try new things like riding a bike, or when you went to school and you had to learn how to study and take tests, okay? That may have felt like bad stress at the time, but in the long run, it was probably good for you, right? You continue to learn, you continue to grow as a human being. Okay, so think about something, again, maybe you have or haven't done this. Think about the first time diving off a diving board, right? Scary stuff, especially when you're little. You're like looking over there. Think about the time that you took your bike's training wheels off. Okay, I remember that. Okay, I definitely remember that. And it's scary, stressful, fun, exciting, right? It's all of those things happening all at once. As you got older, there was the stress of starting college, or starting a new job, or starting a new relationship. Also the stress of making big decisions, like a big decision, maybe the first car that you ever bought, or here's a great one, the stress of buying a new home. I will never forget, and I'm just going to digress here a minute, the stress when I bought my very first condo. I bought my condo when I was 30, and the day that I moved in, so like we moved all day long, right? We had the mover, a typical move day, right? You get done at the end of the day, you're exhausted. We get moved in. I fell into bed after midnight, just totally exhausted. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, had one of the largest earthquakes in California. It was the Sulmar earthquake, or whichever it was, 6.7 or 7.2 or whatever it was. I don't even remember now. Hit. And I jumped up out of bed, and I'm standing in the doorway, and the whole condo's shaking, right? And I'm like, oh my God, like I just moved it, like it's stressful enough. But on top of it, again, I don't know whether you guys know this story or not. Our earthquake insurance had not added earthquake insurance, had not put it in place. At the time, it wasn't required for the closing documents. So I didn't have earthquake insurance. Well, if you guys know anything about earthquake insurance, you can't add earthquake insurance for 30 days after an earthquake. Okay, so, and after an earthquake, what happens after an earthquake? There's lots of aftershocks, okay? So you want to talk about stressful. It was very exciting. It was very stressful, but it was a good stress initially, buying my condo. Bad stress with having an earthquake the very first night and not knowing whether that it would still be standing through the earthquake. Like, it was really scary. All right, anyway, so I digress. So if you lived, if you have lived your life scared of feeling stress, okay? And this is important. I want you to get this. If you've lived your life scared of feeling stress or even being a little bit overwhelmed by it from time to time, okay, you would never make any progress. It happens to us, right? It does happen. But we know we all have to face with stressors in our life. And especially for those of you who are business owners and entrepreneurs, it comes with the territory. It absolutely does. So it's about working through that, right? Okay. It's about working through that, because if not, you would be paralyzed. You would be absolutely paralyzed. In fact, you'd probably end up feeling stressed out anyway because you're bored, right? Or lonely. Because if you're not doing anything, you're not moving forward, it'd be really boring. Like, I would be bored out of my mind. In fact, I'm one of these people who sort of thrives on change. I thrive on challenge. I thrive on, like, what's new? How can we move forward? One of the things that we share with our clients is if you're not growing, you're dying. Okay. Right. If you're not growing, you're dying, and you stay stuck in your comfort zone, right? You stay stuck in your comfort zone. Now, again, I know I'm talking here, but have you guys felt this way, right? Have you ever felt this way? Okay. So give me a like, give me a yes, comment below. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about when I say the word comfort zone, right? Being stuck in the comfort zone. Now, anytime you stretch yourself, okay, anytime you expand your comfort zone, it's a good thing, okay? But the whole process in and of itself is stressful, okay? So those good stresses, they help you learn these coping mechanisms, and they stretch you physically. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay. Sorry. The good stresses help you learn the coping mechanisms, and they stretch you physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually so that you can grow. Okay, you guys with me on that? Do you get that component? Good stresses help you learn coping mechanisms. They stretch you physically, emotionally, and spiritually, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, so that you can continue to go through it. Okay? Now, here's what I'm going to share with you. All of this is actually backed by science, okay? Understanding the concept of good stress, okay? It was actually in scientists in California. They investigated the effects of short bouts of stress, and they call it acute stress, acute, A-C-U-T-E, okay? A-C-U-T-E, acute stress. And they found it's actually good for your brain, okay? Here's what happens. Brief stressful events can actually make brain stem cells multiply into new nerve cells. Okay, let me say that again. Brief stressful events can make brain stem cells multiply into new nerve cells. Okay, when the new nerve cells fully mature a couple of weeks later, it actually has been proven to improve mental performance. Okay, so on a more immediate basis, let me give you an example. Have you ever felt like really pumped up and energized, like you're super excited about something, like you got something coming up and it's scary and nervous and all that, right? That's that pumped up, energized stress. Okay, so maybe when you get involved with a fun game or competition, or like the time, like you're like on it, right? You're on fire, right? You're doing better than you expected on something, right? It's that whole process that gets you going. It gets you keep completely pumped up. Scientists say that this is form of healthy stress. This is what activates your brain's dopamine reward center. Okay, I thrive on that stuff. In fact, I'm going to share with you guys later. I may pop in for another live because I have a really cool brain test that I just did yesterday. It was absolutely fascinating, and it ties in with this. And I want to share it with you guys. And I'm not going to do it here because I want to stay on task. But I think I'll pop in later this week, maybe on Thursday, just sort of unannounced. I'm going to pop in. I'm going to share the test with you. It took me like maybe 5 minutes, maybe 5 or 6 minutes to do. And it was absolutely fascinating, and it nailed me exactly. Okay. Like, seriously. So this is me, right? Like I love the excitement of it. I love a challenge, right? And so that's that whole dopamine reward center. That's exactly how it works for me, right? Dopamine's your body's feel good hormone, right? And it helps you feel more alert, more awake. That's what gets you kind of going and like amped up, like I am right now, right? Okay. So you guys still there? Is this making sense? Is this making sense to you? So for those of you just popping in, those of you catching the replay, go ahead and post in the comments. Okay, go ahead. Let me see here. Tell me if you got a nugget from that so far. Okay. So let's go with this. All right, here's one thing I'm going to tell you about good stress. When you are going through it, it is still a good idea to take some de-stress time so that you can relax and restore, right? So it's great to go through this good stress when it's exciting and invigorating, etc. Okay, but it's really important that after that high, the dopamine levels drop down, that you can incorporate one of the techniques that I've shared with you over the last couple of weeks, right? I've shared with you over the last couple of weeks some of the techniques from the downloadable ebook, you guys. And I know that, there we go. I know that many of you have downloaded it, but I could also tell, again, make sure you open up the follow-up emails that go with it. It walks you through some additional add-ons other than just what's in the ebook as well, okay? So be sure to go through some of those de-stressing techniques that I talked about. And again, understand that your body's stress response system cannot tell the difference between good and bad stress, so it needs a little help resetting. So what does that mean? Taking a little downtime, going for a walk, spending some time outdoors if you can, doing some breathing exercises that I covered a few weeks ago, right? Meditating, yoga, working out, whatever that might be. Sometimes for us, we are... we'll just take some like chill time in the evening. So let's see here. Oh, Jason's here. There he is. Wow. You said, I'm not here. No, you're not here. You're actually, you're actually asleep. You actually should be asleep because it's in the middle of the night for you. And I know that. What are you doing here? This man never sleeps. Hey, okay. You're going to have to, yeah, there we go. Jason's saying hi. That's awesome. You should be asleep, Jason. So some of this de-stressing, okay, so I'm going to have you guys share a little nugget here that I talked about. Again, the difference between good stress and bad stress, right? The difference between those two, how it works on the dopamine levels, how it keeps you engaged. Jason works off of a lot of dopamine levels, right? Like he's so engaged with his clients, okay? You are asleep. Okay. Okay, so I talked about, right, so again, whether it's good stress or bad stress, it's about taking downtime to go for a walk. That's another thing you're really great at, Jason. Like you get done for the evening, he goes for a walk. He lives in London, so he walks around the city, or he drives his badass car around the city. Anyway, spend time outdoors, doing some breathing exercise. I talked about this, meditating, okay? Obviously regular self-care routines with exercise, eating right, getting to sleep, all the things that I talk about. Okay. You guys have been sharing that with you. So here's what I want to mention to you. Okay. So we've talked about, the positive components that happen when you step outside your comfort level, when you challenge yourself, right? Understanding how to recognize good stress from bad stress, right? You need Ionics. Oh yeah, Ionics, that'll help you have a good sleep too. How about sleep spray? That's even better. Take some sleep spray, Jason. Okay, I digress. So here's where I'm at. I want you guys and gals, okay, to pay close attention here because, let me do a refresh on this page. What's going on? Pay close attention here because starting this next week, and again, I moved this call earlier because so many of you requested it, and I'm seeing who's showing up here. But here's what I'm going to tell you. We have some really exciting things rolling out at the beginning of October. Okay. So Jason said, I'm doing Nidra meditation tomorrow night. Oh, interesting. That sounds really interesting. Sounds perfect, right? Again, a great meditation. Again, you've got to find ways that work for you to help blow that stress off, right? To release it, to blow it, again, the breathing exercises. It's one of the things we talked about. Yoga and meditation is really, really great for breathing exercises. I don't know that type of meditation myself, but here's what I want to let you guys know. I want you to pay attention here, for those of you catching the replay as well, that we've been working behind the scenes. There's some really great things that we're rolling out and some special trainings coming up, some interviews and all of that happening. And that's going to be rolling out here within this private group. So technically it's starting in October, but next week is it's a mix, isn't it? Next week is a mix. We are at the end of September. And by the way, I want to just share something with you. September 30th, both of us, Lucho and I, are taking the entire day off, September 30th and October 1st. And we are doing, again, I'm following my own advice here, you guys. We are doing a full day kayaking trip here. I'm very, very excited about it. Something I've been wanting to do for a long time, to this beautiful area on the other side of the Hoover Dam. And I'm really, really excited about it. So that's going to be our 15-year anniversary, and it's our way to disconnect. Yes, I am taking a day off. Yes, a full day off, actually 2 days off, but will be available for our private clients. 2 whole days off. That's reckless. No, it's my positive way of dealing with stress, because I've shared this with you guys. One of my very favorite things, the best way for me to deal with stress is to get outdoors, right? To get outside, especially right now with, working from home. Well, I've worked from home since 2009, but being home all the time, getting outdoors as much as possible is really, really important. So yes, I practice what I preach to you guys. Believe me, like I'm telling you the stuff that we do. This is what we personally do. So again, yes, it's very exciting. Some very, very cool things coming out here. So yes, 2 days off. I know it's 2 days off is very reckless. No, it's not disgusting. It's reckless. No, it's neither. It's much needed. And because I'm going to be able to come back and be just a even more happy person, right? I don't even know you anymore. Hey, you know this, you guys, we've got to get out from behind the computer every once in a while. So I'll be sharing some very, very exciting stuff from that. But here's the thing. Don't get me off track. Here's the thing. I want to encourage you to step outside your comfort zone, right? Encourage you, step outside your comfort zone. Get a little stress, positive stress, okay? Every once in a while, positive stress, okay? It's part of being a person. We know that, additional stress is part of being a business owner. Again, utilize these tips and these resources that I've been sharing with you on dealing with stress, because if you don't deal with it, it's going to come back and it's going to bite you big time, right? If you don't deal with it, if you don't look behind you, what the heck? What do you mean look behind you? I'm not going to do that. Okay. If you don't deal with the stress, this is really important. If you don't deal with the stress, it will show up in very unexpected ways. Okay. It will show up. That's what I'm telling you. It will show up. I know you guys know this. Michelle, I know you're on here too, right? Michelle has really unique processes that she does in dealing with stress. I've learned so much in using the essential oils, right? How to use those in addition on the stress. It happens to all of us. And I'm not going to look behind me, Jason, because I don't. Okay. So here's to stepping outside of your comfort zone, getting a little stressed out by it every day, every little once in a while, not every day. What do I mean? Every once in a while, right? And learn what techniques work best for you. Okay, on positive stress, there we go. On positive stress, I'm taking my car out on the, I'm jealous. That is so cool. You're just like you did in 2000, I think it was 17, right? You did a video from there. So, right. So this is your happy place, right? Looking forward to it, because London is a 20-mile-per-hour zone and it's driving me nuts. Yeah. When you have a car that's made to go over 100 and you're stuck in 20, I know. Way back when I had I had a turbocharged Audi TT rocket ship with an extra chip in it. It was a rocket. It probably weighed or slightly less than your Porsche, but that thing was a rocket. Luckily for us, we lived way out on a toll road in Southern California, and we could open that baby up anytime we wanted to. So yeah, and the cars like it too, right? Anyway, we're going to go into car talk, but hey, whatever floats your boat, right? Whatever floats your boat, whatever gets you, what gets you to the happy place and gets you to the place where you feel like you can release the steam, right? Release that extra stress. Again, working out, taking your car out on the track, right? Going on a kayaking trip, hiking the mountains, just going for a walk, taking the dog out. For those of you who have a dog, that's probably one of the best stress reliefs you could ever have. Okay. So I'm super excited. Next week, I am wrapping up this series. Hold on. What is it? Next week? Okay, hold on. Yeah. But yeah, totally getting the positive stress thing. I tell my clients to set a reward for themselves for hitting their monthly target. Yeah. That's another great thing because again, it's positive reinforcement. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely for hitting your targets. And a smaller reward if they worked hard but didn't quite hit the target. Absolutely. Right. Just for taking the steps, right? Even if you don't hit the target, but acknowledging, and that's probably one of the biggest things I see with entrepreneurs. We talk a lot about this with our clients. Michelle knows this, which is acknowledging the steps that you did take. We do an accountability. We do a weekly accountability component in our program, in our coaching programs, where again, it's about acknowledging the steps that you did take, right? Moving forward in your business, even if they're small baby steps, it's always about moving forward. And last, I'll wrap it up with this, which is we talk about course correction, right? Which is when a rocket ship leaves the Earth and is heading to the moon, it is not a one program. They don't just program it one time and it's a straight shot to the moon. That's not what happens. It's a constant recalibration, right? It goes and they adapt it. It goes and they adapt it. It goes and they adapt it, right? They're constantly recalibrating. And it's the same thing in business. You have to be tracking your numbers and knowing what's going on and paying attention to what's working, what isn't working, right? So, and then rewarding yourself and acknowledging for taking those steps, right? It's really, really, really important. So I'm also going to post, actually, I'm going to put it in here. I have actually a reference for you guys. A lot of what I pull my, see if this will work. I don't know if this will work here. Hold on. Here is a reference link. Yep, on one of the reference guides that I used for this. So did that work in there? Did that post? Let me see. Are you guys seeing that post? Let's see here. That is the reference that I utilized for some of this information. I'm not seeing it show up. So I will post it over here. There we go. If you're interested in reading up on some more of that, I like sharing my research notes. There we go. Perfect. And there we go. All right. I think there's a little of a delay there. There we go. Perfect. So I shared some research notes there with you. And again, yes, the rewards are so very, very important. Let me get back over here. Good stress is important. I encourage you to go back. I shared some great resources for you in here. Make sure you catch those. You can hit hashtag replay, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. You are very, very welcome, of course, anytime. So again, you guys, this is our new bat place, new bat time. Well, same bat place, new bat time. I'm going to see what the show up rate is on this because a lot of you were used to 6 p.m. and Jason's here in the middle of the freaking night. So thank you, Jason. Now, again, go take some sleep spray and catch yourself some Z's. That's also an important part of dealing with stress is getting sleep. Getting sleep is very important. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop that. I'm going to end that there. I'm not going to preach to the choir here. You guys research that as I know what I was going to tell you. Here it is. Next week, we are going to be talking about, I'm going to wrap up the series next week with the power of everyday tasks to help you feel better and work through the stress. We're going to wrap up our topic for this month. And next month, you guys, we're really dialing in deep into business strategies. Okay. So I just really thought it was important this month to address this. There's so much going on. I want to make sure you have all the tools and resources here. I was here, but I was actually asleep. Okay. All right. With that, thank you so much for being here. I will see you next week on the Getting Down to Business Live with Lisza show. And again, pay attention. We have some upcoming events happening. I have lots to share with you, and October is going to be super, super exciting. Live, but actually asleep. Okay. Good stress is important. Utilize that to your advantage, and I will see you next Monday.